I love this movie. It's
Mess with the bull, you're gonna get the horns, Private. Now hit that machine and get your present.
it's about the penguins from Madagascar, and this dude stealing all the octopus, not octopus, but he's stealing all the penguins, and they have to find out who it is. And it's actually hilarious. Even though it's a kids movie, me and my mom laugh at it. +1. I love how they escape.
Oh, Private. How much is he? $3.50. That's outrageous. Even for Private. The machine is alive. I don't think I like your attitude, vending machine. Oh, you're
So I got him.
Release him.
There's an octopus inside this vending machine. Bam! My God, that dude just got nailed right in the cranium. You seriously don't remember me? Dave, yeah, right. It's been a long time. So, how's the wife? Bam! I've never been married. You seriously don't? Okay, it's not the same way. Okay, I think this is it. Okay, if I skip it. Okay, ready? You seriously don't remember me? Alright, ready? I've never been married!
It looks like
Ready? Ready? Listen. Dave! I really loved Dave as a villain. Kinda wish he didn't get turned into a baby. Dave! Dave! Blah. I love it. Ready? God, they had to cram that cricket scene there. That's awesome.
Sorry. Wait.
I live this way. Ready? Go on. You seriously don't remember me?
Go ahead, Dan. Continue.
You seriously don't remember me?
Dave, right. Oh, yeah, long time.
So, how's the wife? Bam! I've never been married. I love that movie. I have to watch it sometime. It's so funny. Don't go there, mother effer. What is wrong with you?
I came to realize some creatures are born to get all the love. Going all these years is my burning thirst for revenge.
Am I?
My precious souvenir snow globe collection.
What is wrong with you? I love this movie. I love this movie. It's so awesome. Okay, so what is this? I'm sorry. I stream sniped a Russian hacker and he reported me on Apex Legends.
feel like this is more like an act of karma, because that's what he's doing to everyone else. So me killing him is in fact doing a good deed and making it so he can't ruin other people's day. Do you guys agree?
Love it, EXE at 3 a.m. and they're all like looking down and it's the loot thing. I get that meme so much. Okay, so what was I gonna do here? Okay, so we need to figure out a plan. This area right here is gonna be. It's going to be an area with Vem. Oh wait, Vemo. We already watched the not Beyond MLM. Okay, no, I want to get a video up telling you. Okay, blah blah blah. I'm trying to find. God, can I find a good one? Okay, let's watch this thing again. Okay, so I don't like this company. Is that when you mess with autistics? They don't. They mess with me, and I'll only expedite your demise. I will expedite your fate. I'm hearing rumors, guys. There's a new block that will detect vibrations on the ground when you place a block, break a block, or just walk in the vicinity. It'll detect vibrations and it'll send out redundant. Okay. Electrifying pass. This is my most hated, and I have a vendetta against them and their founders. They are simply clouded, or should I say crowded? They are clouded. Their minds are weak. They see nothing. They are weak-minded. They'll do anything to grab the money, and their fates have already been defined. Guys, join me as I create AAA, Abbott's Autism Association. People fear the unknown, which makes my mission clear. I must expedite researches, because I am the best source of data in Woodford County, Illinois.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Blair, or the Illuminati, and today
I'm just saying, if every one of their creators come to my house, they're at my mercy.
Autism Speaks. So many of you came out with your own stories about having a friend or family member, or many of you being on the spectrum yourselves. I'm so happy to hear that my subscribers know that autism isn't a horrible, life-threatening disorder like autism
She is speaking facts. I can back her up.
We're not done with Autism Speaks, and if you thought it couldn't get any worse, it does. We've talked about their old videos, their disturbing mission statement, their position on vaccines, the lack of research, and the lack of support. It's hard to believe they could tell you right now up front that there will be mentions of actual torture in this video.
Yeah, no kidding.
I understand, and I totally get it if you click away. I'll give a warning each time the subject comes up, but please know that it will come up on multiple occasions in this video, and I don't want anyone to be unprepared for that. So, with that out of the way, let's dive right in and see what else is wrong with this foundation that I originally thought couldn't get any more despicable. When it comes to better managing autism in children, there's a few different routes one can take. Early intervention is key in order to help an autistic child have the resources and services they need to not only better understand the
Can't press square to pick things up.
briefly touched upon that in the last video, and now we're going to go a little deeper into what these things are and where Autism Speaks comes into play with this. Parentcenters.org lists these services as the following: assistive technology, devices a child might need, audiology or hearing services, speech and language services, counseling and training for a family, medical services, nursing services, nutrition services, occupational therapy, physical therapy, and psychological services. Some families
I actually heard a really good quote from Sally from the movie Cars.
need, of course,
People like a road that bends along the land,
these services
not one that cuts through it.
many
That's actually a very strong quote,
understood.
and that further explains why I don't... Here's the thing. Imagine if I said, hey, you want to play hide and seek in a flat map? What would you rather do, flat map or something like this? Like, look at this. Look at the hills. I mean, you may not see many hills, but look how the hills are outside. And there's you got lakes. Like, look at this. You can't. I mean, you can't build it on what's it called, super flat. But hey,
Kyle, age 17 at the time, received electroshock therapy at Johns Hopkins in Baltimore. His mother explained that Kyle would often hurt himself, and even after a 9-month stay in the neurobehavioral unit at the Kennedy Krieger Institute, the doctors had no success. Kyle was discharged with a floor mat to cushion the blows when he hammered his head on the ground, splints on his arms to prevent him from hitting his face, and thick tights to protect his thighs and abdomen from his pinching. Kyle's mother goes on to explain that electroshock therapy isn't the barbaric treatment method people make it out to be, and how every other option was exhausted.
shut the hell up, lady.
Desperate family that did their research and
It is.
might be right for them. Kyle is one example of a person who's
Cause you're feeling
behaviors or
there's electrical flow through your body. If it goes like from this flow to bam, there's gonna be resistance. Those particles are gonna collide, causing pain.
has many risks we'll be getting into in a moment.
That's why it hurts.
Children with autism may engage in
When hot particles go fast, cold particles go slow. So imagine my body's cold, but when I touch something really hot, it hurts because that collision, like imagine like going 100 miles an hour and pulling the brakes. There's gonna be some violent, you know what's it called? Some violent reaction there.
By B, there are many ways to understand and help available. Dr. Rayce A Abbott, the head of the neurobehavioral unit at Kennedy Krieger, recorded data with 152 people over almost 4,000 sessions and concluded the following. Some 38% of children hurt themselves as a form of escape. About a fourth wanted attention, food, or toys, and another fourth hurt themselves for sensory input. A small number had more than one purpose for
You can't stop it, dumbass. It always prevails.
individualized treatments, such as teaching and reinforcing useful behaviors to replace self-injury in the child's repertoire. Dr. Iwata and many others advocated functional communication training to teach children ways of requesting what they want. A child who could point to a picture to communicate his need for a break or a drink would not need to bang his head to achieve the same purpose. Functional communication training is now considered very effective for SIB. But how does this relate to autism essentially talks about how difficult it is to handle autism or how impossible managing it might be, despite, of course, the clear evidence in this research.
Go F yourself. Nobody would care if you died.
Autism Speaks is a good guys. Rather than take this research about communication and, fund it or dive deeper into it or question what ways their foundation could do more to promote functional communication training, they went to the absolute extremes. After all, they've grouped autistic people into one box since they were founded, so why would they stop now? Electroshock therapy worked for Kyle, after all. So Autism Speaks, with their misguided, fear-mongering tactics to scare up donations and justify their growing sense of self-importance, decided to endorse an electroshock therapy center that unfortunately did not know what they were doing. So, what exactly is electroshock therapy? The Mayo Clinic defines ECT as a procedure done under general anesthesia, in which a small electric current is passed to the brain, intentionally triggering a brief seizure. ECT seems to cause changes in brain chemistry.
A seizure? You're making a seizure? What the hell? My grandma has seizures and she says they're not good. Imagine you're a disabled boy coming home after electroshock therapy, not even remembering your name. That would be horrible. If I had a kid that couldn't remember my name, I'd feel sad because they'd feel alone.
They go on to say that it's done for severe depression from dementia. The risk can include confusion, memory loss,
Death.
physical side effects, and medical complications. In other words, yes, ECT can be very seriously. Inducing a seizure will increase heart rate and blood pressure that can lead to heart problems in rare cases. Now, here's what ticks me off about Autism Speaks in this whole situation. We've gone through how even the most challenging aspects of some autistic patients can be handled. How electroshock therapy should be seen as a last and nothing else works resort. It needs to be done professionally, carefully, and is seen as a management tool. So why does Autism Speaks think it's okay to endorse electroshock therapy as a treatment for autism? And not just, promoting carefully monitored electroshock therapy for a small percent that need it, but a center that has actually been deemed as torture. And no, I'm not exaggerating here. On Saturday, November 2nd, 2013, as you can see from the scanned images of their cards, Autism Speaks promoted the Judge Rottenberg Center as a service provider. The JRC, once the Behavioral Research Institute, was founded in 1971 by Harvard psychologist Matthew Israel. Matthew first opened up shop in California, taking in students.
I'm telling you right now, if I ever had a private military, this place would be the first place to hit. I would swoop in there and I would arrest every single man and woman involved. Go in there, use bolts to break their glass, destroy, raid.
Horrible thing when it comes to autism treatment. And why, you might ask? Because treatment needs to be individualized. Different people are going to respond to different things.
Exactly. Imagine this. Like, for example, me, I did not behave the best. I was kind of a dick back then. Like, I stabbed a kid in the back of a freaking, the back, I guess. And, yeah. Stabbed some poor kid in the back. Luckily, we're on good terms now. This...
Your method isn't working for them? It's disgusting. It's not as if Matthew was here gently speaking to the kids and using proven communicative methods either. And this is where you will be receiving the first warning that what I'm about to mention is pretty disturbing. His methodology of treatment was predicted on techniques called adversive intervention slaps, forced inhalation of ammonia, food deprivation, sleep deprivation, prolonged prolonged restraint, deep muscle pinches intended to inflict maximum pain, and
Jesus Christ.
One of the more disturbing practices that
Ow.
Matthew Israel favors is called behavioral rehearsal lessons, in which students are coerced into producing unwanted behaviors solely for the purpose of subsequently punishing them.
Okay, so I'll be honest. I was really nice to people that, well, guess what? You're not gonna believe this. People that were actually nice to me. I was nice to people that were nice enough to be nice to me. If you punish and antagonize, you will only receive, well, negative outcomes. If you for example, if I slap a kid on the wrist, then they're not going to be as good. You need it. Here's how you punish people. First off, if it's something like, you know, if you smack, if they do it the first time, just sit them down, take them away, say, hey, you can't do this. This is not allowed. And if they keep doing it, increase the time where you take the toys away. That's how you do it. I'm not even a parent yet, and I know how to parent.
Interventions operate on the same philosophy that some people apply to animals. If you pair an unwanted behavior with a pain stimulus, the unwanted behavior will go away. And oh my God. And this is on children with behavioral disabilities, and this man was recommended by autism.
Listen though, I have mild autism, and to be honest, when I was like taught behavioral therapy, I didn't know what was going on. I thought I was just there to play and get over with. I did not know what was going on, and I was one of the smartest people there. Trust me. I can tell you a little bit about nuclear decay and crap like that. I can. I'm not the best at it.
It gets so much worse than I thought. I mean, I won't lie to you guys. When I first started researching this video, I thought, okay, well, we'll talk about how electroshock therapy is messed up and when it's improperly used and how Autism Speaks shouldn't be blanket recommending it to people that trust them for it.
Damn it.
One of my teammates that I played football with here in Illinois City, he had some
I don't care about football. I'm sorry, guys, but I don't.
local police officer, and
Please, stop it.
For advice. But no, this is straight up torture, and not only that, but it's actually killed people. In California, one of Israel's students died as a result of his treatment methods. This was a 22-year-old named Vincent, who passed away while in restraints at one of Israel's homes.
She had a whole life ahead of her.
Tactics on treating autism.
She should have lived 80 more years.
He avoided
Only reduced to 8
the
seconds.
relocated at first to Rhode Island, but when the regulatory agency refused to permit Israel to continue there, he settled in Canton, Massachusetts. Matthew Israel had the idea here that rather than use electroshock therapy as intended, which was
I hope, if this guy was a robot, I hope he oxidized.
therapy, the negative reinforcement. And this just puts me at an absolute loss of words. Matthew Israel invented his own device, a torture device really, called the Graduated Electronic Decalator, designed to be more powerful and painful than a police taser. And for those of you who don't know how painful a police taser is, people call it overwhelming and often the most painful experience of their.
Okay, so if you don't know, that's actually shooting like little tiny like spikes, and they dig into your flesh and skin, and then they send electrical pulses. I've never experienced one, but I don't want to.
Died from those tasers. Now, I need to put in a few more warnings here again. It's gonna get graphic. That's your heads up. So take a deep breath. And with this graduated electronic decelerator, students were forced to wear electrodes attached to various parts of their bodies. And whenever they engage in any unwanted behavior, anything from headbanging to flapping their hands to getting out of
It's hard to teach autistic kids, and I know what it's
The
like.
state of Massachusetts attempted to end this barbaric practice this, Israel sued the regulating agency. When he prevailed, forcing the then Commissioner of Mental Retardation to resign, he renamed the facility after the judge who oversaw the agreement, Ernest Rottenberg. Thus, this is why the name Judge Rottenberg Center exists that Autism Speaks promoted in 2013. Apparently, this judge not only told him he was free to continue, he just had to get court approval when he wanted to use aversion therapy on a patient. I wish I could say I was joking. Sometimes evil wins the battle. I can promise you there's a sort of halfway good ending to all of this, but in 2007, the state of Massachusetts could not shut Matthew Israel down. People were dying, but Matthew Israel had the perfect ally. State Representative Jeffrey Sanchez had a nephew, Brandon, that was in Matthew Israel's care since the age of 12. Israel is said to have shocked the same Brandon more than 5,000 times in one day alone.
Oh my god.
Although Autism Speaks was promoting the JRC in 2013, people knew about these horrific acts far sooner. In the Boston Magazine in 2008, when describing the shocks, students called it the longest 2 seconds of their lives, and that the school says the Graduated Electronic Decelerator, or GED, needed more juice. A couple years after the GED was first developed, the school made a new one, upping the milliamps from 15 to 41 and the voltage to 66.
Damn.
The GED IV, it burned skin. Legislators called it barbaric. But what's disturbed me the most is how they describe the shocks as punishment. According to the source,
That.
employees are to tell a student why he is receiving a shock.
Oh, let's do some math. A little bit, don't worry. So, 66 volts. How much energy is that? I know that's a bit. Divided by 1.5. That's the equivalent of 44 AA batteries being discharged into your skin. Let's see, how many volts does a outlet make? How many volts does outlets make? Might swear. Holy shit. An outlet emits 120. This thing pumps out 66. That's half. Oh my god. Why don't they, you know what? I wish I could want to shoot him in the head with a Barrett, but I want him to die slowly. I want him to die extremely slowly. I want alcohol into every single wound with salt.
Greg Miller says burns happened often enough that JRC staff had a name for the student going off to the machine so his skin could heal. A GED holiday. 18 was given for swearing, 19 was given with the accompanying pinpoint, no refusing to follow staff directions. The student responded to this with, yes sir. 20 was given with no pinpoint. 21 again for refusing to follow directions. After 30 shocks in a single day, staffers were to get approval from a psychologist to shock more. A staffer at one point tried to call someone in upper management from the bathroom. You weren't supposed to use your cell phone on duty, and the bathroom was the only place that didn't have a camera, but he had no reception. The article then describes how the student was given a 37th, 38th, and 39th shock for attempting to remove the GED. 50 to 53 were for verbal threats, 10 more shocks for yelling, and at the end of the day, this poor student had received 77 shocks.
Dude.
Electroshock therapy. This isn't what Kyle received at the start of the video, and this isn't what the Mayo Clinic is talking about when they say carefully given electroshock therapy can potentially help severely catatonic and aggressive patients. This is not it. This has honestly...
I wish that dude stepped in my house so I could put a 9mm right between those eyes.
Afterwards, the first staffer said he was done. There was no more him.
So you better stay away from my house.
The student complained later that night of a racist...
I'll buy a 12 gauge.
Couldn't breathe, he said. He felt as if he were about to have a stroke. The report says no staff took article goes on to say that advocates for the disabled have no one to blame for JRC's survival but the parents of its students, and it's a shame.
Wow. Hey, it's your fault that we are shocking your kid almost to death.
So you never have to slow down at work.
That could make criminals. Those kids could grow up to be bad people.
Having to stay put. Whether you're working on your computer or on your phone, Grammarly provides instant writing advice, so your messages are clear without...
I don't care.
Shame, because it was the parents advocating for JRC. Parents that didn't really know what their children may be going through exactly, but desperate for this resource. Matthew Israel took advantage, knowing he was all they had. One parent explains he would rather have his son shocked for a short amount of time than exhibit SIB behaviors. But it's not a short amount of time, really. And to terrify children into behaving, torturing children into behaving, it's not only that. Israel's methods were more than questionable. They were cruel, and they were fatal. At least 6 students with disabilities died at JRC, either directly or indirectly because of the torture inflicted upon
Not much death, but very much horrible way to go out.
The JRC that detail their cruelty, and it's no secret. It's not hard to find what they do. It's not as if Autism Speaks couldn't have simply typed a name into Google, done the most basic of searches in 2013, and realized who they were promoting. To endorse electroshock therapy is one thing. Electroshock therapy in of itself has many, many risks and a dark, depressing history. When it was first created and used in the US, it was around the time lobotomies were popular. Needless to say, we have taken huge strides in medicine since then. I don't want to say that Kyle or his mother from the start of the video are doing the wrong thing. Even Psychology Today came out in support that Autism Speaks would endorse electroshock. But the problem is bigger than that. It's not with this carefully controlled technique being used in limited, rare, last resort circumstances. It's that Autism Speaks was endorsing this organization that uses torture for some of its most severe members in the community. That's what kills me. That's what's made me want to gag and scream and what's been so rage-inducing. I had no idea. I didn't even want to believe that this could even be a possibility in modern times. It sounds like something straight out of a horror movie, or how people that were tortured in medieval times, but this was going on just 7 years ago. That's really, in the grand scheme of things, not a very long time. Autism Speaks was putting that name on the cards they handed out to probably thousands of people at their awareness walks. I wonder how many parents called that center. I wonder how many students that went to that center was because of Autism Speaks. It really makes my skin crawl. I am, at least, pleased to say that Matthew Israel stepped down. Apparently, this was in order to avoid prison time, and he got 5 years probation. That's not enough. People died in his care.
Sentence him to death.
The good in this really is that it's just not happening anymore.
Kill him. Kill him.
A sort of good ending because it would be a good
Actually, no, don't kill him. Shove him in prison. Make sure he's tied with his arms and legs to a chair where he can't move, and make sure he suffers the rest of his life with that. Oh, make him eat parade, makeup, drink, chili juice. Hopefully it'll cure his... He should try another source of curing autism. Make him glug chili juice until he dies from sodium not hydrogen, but no.
Video was released, there was a public outcry, and Autism Speaks said, "We oppose the use of electric shock in behavior modification treatments. The video of the student receiving this type of treatment at the Judge Rottenberg Center is appalling, and Autism Speaks joins the many other organizations in calling for the end of this abuse." They also added on their website that they don't condone aversion therapy, which is pretty convenient after supporting it for the many, many years when Israel was in prison or he can't hurt anyone again, but I don't. No human being deserves to suffer through this. We have laws that prevent us from torturing terrorists, but not autistic children. If you supported Autism Speaks after this video, I don't know how you could possibly justify that position. Being vocal about what you stand for is
most gruesome villains deaths in what's it called? Disney.
Well known for their devilish dark motives, and fittingly enough, these evil characters typically meet their end in rather gruesome ways. But which of these deaths are the most gruesome? Which ones got taken out quickly, and which ones were screwed up and agonizing? Hey guys, I'm Brad with Wicked Binge, and today we're taking a grim look at how these Disney villains die. These are now, as far as the rules go, the villains must die. They can't be fake outs or just be left for dead. So that means villains that aren't confirmed to have died or are said to be alive by the directors won't be here. Also, we're only counting actual Disney movie villains, so it's a no for Pixar, Disney TV shows, or TV movie villains. But let us know if we should do those in the future. And finally, only one villain death per movie. Alright, let's get started. First up, we have the Ballers. These are villains that died in the most standard Disney way possible, falling to their doom. The bottom of this list has the rat, Ratigan. After a battle on Big Ben, he ended up falling off the clock tower to his death.
Oofers.
And that's about it. Falling off of a tower is a painful way to go, but really not that flashy or painful. What is painful is that Ratigan falling off was due to him thinking that he had won and outsmarted Basil, only to be duped by the very same trap he set up for him. What puts him down this low is that, well, he pretty much died on impact. There wasn't much time for any real pain to set in, and that's going to be a problem for a lot of these falls. No one fights like Gaston, and nobody falls to their death like Gaston. He meets his end during the fight with Beast. After almost being mauled, Gaston begs for his life, to which the Beast agrees, on the condition that he leave him and Belle alone. Get out. Of course, no one disobeys orders like Gaston, so seeing him hug Belle sets him off and leads to him backstabbing the Beast. This would prove to be a mistake, as thanks to the Beast staggering around in pain, Gaston was accidentally knocked off into the middle below.
Well.
This definitely hurts. It's above Ratigan for just how less likely for an instant kill, and if that doesn't take, the drowning fell. Regardless, there are still plenty of other villains that can die slower than Gaston. For our second to last faller, we have King Runard. While he may be dead before the film started, he did make an impact on the world, namely by creating the dam to block the power for the North Ultra people and their magic. He brought his demise upon himself, as he was the one who started the conflict between them and Arendelle, attacking the North Ultra.
It's supposed to be in the second.
And starting the war against
I mean, as much as as like, you know, as much as it'd be weird to watch Frozen 2, it does have lore. It expands on universes.
But rather, you guessed it, falling to his death. Percival McLeach of the Rescuers Down Under is up next, or rather, down.
And these houses need to be like the best of the best, maybe. Not like the way best, but like big houses with nice little bathrooms. This is gonna be inspired from Lake Bloomington in real life.
Cody to be eaten by crocodiles, he ends up falling into the river thanks to Joanna. With him in the river, he's now the one targeted by the crocodiles. However, this does nothing to slow him down, as he just fights them off with his rifle with no bullets. I will get However, this would eventually be for naught, thanks to a waterfall at the end of the river. Despite trying to get out of the river, he ends up going over and falling down. He may have had a brief moment of
Oofers again.
lower than others, but it's still a way we wouldn't want to go out on. The next least cruel death goes to Zira, our first villain death from a sequel. The writing was on the wall that she wasn't long for this world, with her threatening to kill Tatani, causing her entire pride to essentially give up on her and go join Simba's.
Where are you going? Get back here.
Alone, she decides to just go with her plan of killing Simba, only for Kiara to fight her, with both of them falling over the cliff. While Kiara is capable of getting herself back up, Zira, not so much. While Kiara was willing to help Zira despite her misdeeds, Zira was like, nah, I'm good.
I'll help you.
I mean, she did think it over, but she decided that she would rather die than live with Simba. Falling into a river and dying probably isn't that great. What puts her down this low is that she did it on purpose. It's a choice she was willing to make, and while we're pretty sure that dying hurts pretty badly, this willingness kind of makes her demise pretty grim. Alright, so Scoop from Treasure Planet gives us a little twist on the
I like Treasure Planet.
trying to send Jim
No.
skywards by use of gravity on the ship. He gets caught up in the ship's rope, causing him to be the one sent skywards. That's right, it's another falling death. But this time, they're going upwards instead of downwards. And it's not just falling onto a surface. He gets launched into space, where he will have to deal with the very painful death of running out of oxygen. He may not have to deal with the impact, but a worse pain is definitely there for him. With his lungs being destroyed by space, he won't be saying hi to Arrow anytime soon. With that, we are now in the more than a fall territory. These villains all perished by falling, but had something else going on that made it all the more painful. Now we have Mother Gothel. What kind of death would be...
Oh, I like this one.
One in eternal youth? Well, how about age catching up to her? Thanks to Flynn cutting off Rapunzel's hair to free her from being stuck with Gothel at the cost of his own life, that's exactly what happened. Without Rapunzel's magic hair to keep her
Look at that fire, man.
she ends up
Maybe I put a house right here, right there, and right there. Don't worry, one day I'll put some trees back here.
out of a window. However, unlike other villains, she doesn't make it to the ground. Instead, she just vanishes into dust before her body hits the earth, aging so fast that her body became dust. That's right, Flynn Rider turned someone to dust before Thanos made it cool. Next up, we have the evil sorceress, Maleficent. Not including the live-action films, Maleficent is definitely evil through and through, and at the end of the film, definitely dead. Turning into a dragon by using all the powers of hell to fight off Prince Philip, she ends up chasing after him to a cliffside, and just as she was about to finish him off, gets her heart stabbed by the prince, throwing a sword at it. This doesn't deter her, however, as while falling, tries to eat the prince, only for him to call upon the noble art of simply dodging to get out of the way, and letting her fall to her death, right into the very same flame she created, as her form disappears into a puff of smoke. All that is left of her is just a cloak with the sword stabbing through it. A class again for a classic villain. We have the original Disney villain death, thanks to the evil queen. It's a tale as old as time, or a death as old as time. The evil queen transforms herself into an old hag, except Snow White, into taking a bite out of the poison apple, only to flee once the dwarves come to murder her during her escape. She spots a giant boulder on the edge of a cliff
And get struck by lightning.
to crush the dwarves, only for a bolt of lightning to strike her instead, causing her to fall to her doom. Standard Disney villain death affair so far, but then the boulder rolls backwards and falls onto her body instead. If she wasn't dead before, well, she is now. And if that didn't take, then her body being eaten by the vultures,
modern deaths some extra bullet points. If this was a list of iconic deaths, or frankly, awesome death scenes, our winner would have to be Judge Claude Frollo. But we're ranking based on...
He deserved what was coming to him. He threw out abandoned, like this dude was deformed in his face. He just got quite literally sent to hell.
Even when he's about to kill Esmeralda, as she's
What?
Quasimodo.
I have to go. If I have to put a house right here and here, maybe if we're lucky we could squeeze another one on, but I doubt we can do that. Okay, maybe we can also squeeze one right there. Then we're gonna make that road into the jungle. Yeah, but we'll find a way.